Good afternoon. Welcome back inside the Collins Arena as we get set for the second game of our doubleheader as the Jersey Blues host Northampton. Brian Goudsworth, Tim Catalfamo back here with you. Brookdale off to another fantastic start. They've won 5 of their first 6, including all 4 here at home. And Tim, the story is Brookdale continuing to play the style of basketball that Coach Chizek wants them to play and doing it so well.
Yeah, they like to run an up-tempo offense, and that's something that they've worked on all season. They've done a very good job of so far. And as I said, I wouldn't expect anything different in today's game.
And we'll turn our attention out of the court as we get set for this afternoon's game. So we are set for the opening tip. Jordan Little with Justin Kelman, and Brookdale has controlled the opening tip. Their starting 5, Kerry Kirkwood, Zach Olakani, James Wright, Jordan Little, and Sky Harris. Right on a bounce and soaring to the rim with the finger roll, Jordan Little for the first bucket of the day. As for Northampton, coming from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, making the trip southeast, and they enter with a record of 5-4. Three-pointer on the way from the corner. Juan Perez-Jones couldn't convert. Tracked down by Little. Ahead for Wright on the fast break. Wright streaking to the rim to lay it in. And it's 4-0 Jersey Blues to start the afternoon. Tyrell Mann over Wright. Missed it short. Rebounded by Harris. Brookdale off a win their last time out, as this is Sky Harris outside. Little foul line jumper, tried to go glass, he missed. Jersey Blues come off an 84-77 win. That was on the road at the County College of Morris. 4-0 start for the home team. Burke gives it up. Tyrell Mann on the drive inside. Hinton Gray, tough fadeaway, and he gets that to go.
Yeah, the entire Brookdale bench wanted to walk that last time. They didn't get it, but so far, Brookdale's been able to use that high-tempo offense to gain an early lead.
Just over a minute and a half gone by. And this is Kerry Kirkwood handling for the Jersey Blues. Olakani catching fire off the rim, no, and it's rebounded by Hinton Gray. Northampton out of the Eastern Pennsylvania Collegiate Conference. Long three, and it's good. Jarrell Burke from well beyond the arc for the triple. And that puts the Spartans in front by a point. Facing up, jump shot counted. Jordan Little for 2. And Brookdale back up by a point in the early going. It's 6-5. Hinton Gray in a matchup with Harris. Top of the key, Perez-Jones tried to hook a pass for Hinton Gray, not on the same page. Turnover, Spartans.
Yeah, nice defense there for Brookdale. They're sticking with their man-to-man, which is something that Coach Chizek historically likes to run. So far, it's working. They have a 1-point lead.
Brookdale with possession and a 1-point lead. Kirkwood on a stop and go. Harris hands it off for Olakani. He's stripped of the ball, and it's stolen by Hinton Gray. Trying to lead the break, nearly lost it. And now Perez-Jones settles it down for Northampton. Screen comes from Kelman. Burke now outside to the corner, off the rim for Perez-Jones on a 3. Rebound uncontested to Olakani. James Wright maneuvering around Tyrell Mann, and he's hacked on his way to the rim. Free throws coming for James Wright.
Wright's one of those players that you mentioned that away game at the County College of Morris had 17 points in that game. One of the main contributors on offense. He's at the line now so far in the starting lineup, looking pretty good so far this afternoon.
The leading scorer for Brookdale to start the year. First attempt is no good. And originally we had thought he was a freshman, as was the case on the roster, listed as such, but he is actually a sophomore, transferred after 1 year at a college in Illinois. So Wright, originally from New Jersey, went out to Illinois, didn't get much playing time there, came to Brookdale for a much better opportunity and off to a terrific start. 7-5 Jersey Blues, 3.5 gone by, whistle and a foul out top, and James Wright will pick this one up. So the Spartans 6th place in the Region 19 so far, record of 5-4. Inbounds comes to Hinton Gray, his turnaround misses, and the rebound controlled by Jordan Little.
Little was one of the players we didn't see in the starting rotation last week. He's back in and did a nice job that last time pulling down that rebound.
And now a foul away from the ball. It will go against Justin Kelman. And that's a quick 2 personals on the sophomore from Reading, Pennsylvania. So Cortez Goff is the first off the bench for Brennan McCarthy's Spartans. McCarthy on the sideline in his 3rd season at the helm of this Northampton program. As Wright's pass for Little, couldn't control it cleanly, and it comes to Jarrell Burke. Back the other way on the break. Burke, he will get it to spin in, plus the foul. That was the roll of all rolls for Jarrell Burke for the Spartans.
And I'm not sure if I like that call too much. Burke really leaned into Sky Harris. Harris didn't set his feet, yes, but you can't necessarily lean into somebody like that. So I'm with Coach Chizak on the sidelines. He was not very happy about that call. That's a little questionable in my opinion. So
Harris picks up his first, and the free throw is short by Burke off the mark. We're tied at 7. Bullet feed, Jordan Hernandez, and Wright couldn't control it. It's out of bounds. Back to the Spartans. And you saw that up-tempo offense that Brookdale likes to run really come into play there. Unfortunately, Wright couldn't handle that pass to execute on the other end. But we'll see that a lot. Brookdale really likes to push the tempo, and so far early on, they've showed that. And there you get a look at Paul Chizek, 25 years as the head man of this Jersey Blues men's team. Possession with Northampton. Goff across the midcourt line, and he's called for a double dribble, looking to maneuver around Jordan Little, and Northampton turns it over. Yeah, we were talking to Coach Chizak before the game. He said he's not overly confident, but he's ready to play. He feels that his team is ready. So far, they've come in here on a little bit of a hot streak. They've won 4 straight games and have done a very nice job, but was surprised that he didn't feel 100% confident. On the drive, Kirkwood, and he's fouled. Blocking foul called. And Kerry Kirkwood, who hit the ground hard, will step to the free throw line. Well, Paul Chizek told us he's never confident in his team. He says, we're just ready to play. You know, all good coaches, they're never 100% satisfied, so that's the case with Chizek. Kirkwood at the line, and the first attempt is good. You can sometimes always tell by the body language of somebody, and Chizak, for me, just didn't feel as confident or as ready to tell us all how well practice has gone. He was a little bit shaky on the sideline. So, like I said, I think this is going to be a closer game, he feels, than we maybe are expecting. 2-point Brookdale lead. Nice reverse spin. Burke, the finish. What a move by Jarrell Burke. And we're back tied up at 9 as the ball's knocked out of bounds. And we'll stay with the Jersey Blues. 15:33 to go in the first half. Jordan Hernandez steps into the jumper, and too strong. The rebound is swiped by Jarrell Burke. Perez Jones gets it back to the top of the key. Bounce pass to the baseline. The jumper is short. Hinton Gray tipped and taken. The rebound to James Wright. Wright all the way to the rim. Can't get the roll. And it's rebounded by Hinton Gray. Perez Jones, as they have the pair of hyphenated names and the follow. Hinton Gray on the offensive glass for the Spartans. Oh, Wright going behind the back. And he gets it to go in the paint. fast-paced action. James Wright, what a move going behind the back for two.
Very fast-paced so far. Both of these two teams, though, still in control. However fast they are pushing on the offensive side.
Mann catching fire, short on the three. Offensive rebound hitting Gray. Filling the lane is Mann. He couldn't finish it. Rebounded by Little. Up the floor in a hurry, it's Wright. Wright over the contest, but he couldn't get it to go. And it's rebounded by Cortez Goff. Burke brings it across. Wide open man. No one picks him up. And it's a three ball. Timeout Brookdale. Paul Chisek is irate. And we'll keep it here with 14:07 to go in the first half, as we'll get a look at both rosters on the screen here. And there you see Brookdale, and we gave you the starting lineup. And the Northampton roster, a quick look at that as well. This Brookdale team, though, 5-1, continue to cruise here at home where they're 4-0, 4-1 in the conference, and as it stands right now, they are third place in the Region 19. And so Northampton, also a part of the Region 19, although not a part of the Garden State Athletic Conference, make their home in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and they currently sit 6th place in the region. But this is a team that has some talent. They have a just over 500 record, come off a win their last time, 95-78 versus Montgomery College. So outside the timeout, it's Blues basketball. Inside, Little gets surrounded and gets fouled. And Jordan Little will go to the free throw line for Brookdale.
And we'll probably see that a lot today. Brookdale likes to feed it inside to Jordan Little. Even Matt Ringel, who actually started the last time at home last week. We'll see that a lot. Brookdale likes to get the ball inside to a person like Little. Again, he's a sophomore. He's one of the leaders of this team. He has a big presence down low. The problem with Little is sometimes he runs into some foul trouble that put him on the bench. So we'll probably see Brookdale, though, more often than not, look to him if he's open underneath the basket.
And Little's first attempt is a good one. As into the game now, Ezekiel Sloan checks in for the Spartans. And getting a breather right now, Tyrell Mann. Brookdale's 5 on the floor as Kyle Bradshaw's come in. It's Bradshaw, Olakani, Little, Hernandez, and Kerry Kirkwood. And a long stoppage in between the two free throws for Little. And he makes that one. It's a one-point game, 14-13, Northampton. Jarrell Burke on the wing, trying to use the screen. He goes behind the back, steps back, puts it up from 3, and it's tipped off the backboard and taken by Kirkwood. Olakani feeding it down low. Little got the defender in the air, he missed it, and it's rebounded by Cortez Goff. Spartans get their offense set up. They lead by 1. Handoff for Burke. Ezekiel Sloan, and now at the top of the key, Goff. Shot clock winding down, it's at 6. On the drive, and Perez Jones couldn't get it to go, but he is fouled. And that'll work against Kerry Kirkwood, a push underneath.
Yeah, both Kerry Kirkwood and Jordan Little actually fell down on top of each other underneath the basket. Unfortunately, though, that's going to be Kerry Kirkwood's first foul. His brother Keyshawn looks like will most likely check in for him at the next buzzer.
First free throw, no good. For the sophomore, who in his freshman year was a second-team All-EPCC, standing for Eastern Pennsylvania Collegiate Conference. And Perez Jones comes in averaging just under 10 points per game. 1 out of 2 from the line, and 7 minutes gone by to 2-point Northampton lead. Keyshawn Kirkwood is in, and he is setting up the offense for the Jersey Blues. Jordan Hernandez spinning, and doesn't get it to go, but he is fouled. Jordan Hernandez on that circus attempt, and he is at the line.
And Hernandez is one of those explosive players that we usually see come off the bench. That time, really nice move. Was not quite able to get that basket to fall, which is such a shame because it was such a beautiful shot. But one of those players that we've seen come off the bench as of the last couple of games and really put together a nice effort.
He's had a very good impact coming off the bench, the freshman from Passaic, New Jersey. And particularly active on the defensive end where he specializes in steals. 1 point game, 15-14. Some pressure applied in the backcourt by Keyshawn Kirkwood, but Perez Jones able to beat it. Burke using the Goff screen. Burke back outside. Little caught in the air, and the jumper is an air ball. It's corralled by Bradshaw. Bradshaw leading the break the other way. Hernandez to the rim, left-handed. And he couldn't get it to drop. Little tried to control it, but it's out of bounds. Back to Northampton.
Yeah, Little had position that last time, just miscalculated where that ball was coming from Hernandez.
And Jordan Hernandez will check out right now. James Wright has returned for Brookdale. And in now for the first time on the Northampton side is Joe Cartagena, one of the first off the bench. This is Ezekiel Sloan handling it top of the key. Goff thought about the three, drives inside. He's fouled before the shot. As 24 comes together with 24, Little on the other end. And it will be Jordan Little picking up the foul.
Yeah, Little's actually going to come out of the game after picking up that foul, and Matt Ringel's going to come in for him.
And now this is Burke bumping bodies on the baseline with Olakani. Burke gives it up. Working hard down low, Cartagena, and the tie-up is forced. And which way will it go? There seems to be a mix-up, but it will stay with the Spartans.
Coach Chizak actually wanted a traveling call that time. Instead, they're going to get a jump ball, and because the possession hour is pointing towards Northampton, it's going to stay here on the floor. Shot clock, though, I don't believe is going to reset. It's at 20.
So Perez Jones set to inbound. Kirkwood right in his face. Get it outside for Sloan. Tight defense from Wright. Sloan makes his move, kicks it out. Goff able to corral the pass, but then he travels. Brookdale gets it back. They're down by 1.
And one thing I'm seeing with Brookdale is while they're playing nice man-to-man defense, they've had a couple of times where they've left guys open in the perimeter where they haven't closed down on them. Northampton hasn't so far been able to take advantage of that, but that's something that could get back to them and hurt them later on in the game.
Matt Ringel tracking it down. Kirkwood trying to feed the post. Aggressive hands by Cartagena. He knocks it out. And so 13 on the shot clock, 11:27 on the first half game clock. As there you get a look at Brennan McCarthy, the third-year man for the Spartans. Ringel, that was a tough contest, and he couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, I think there probably should have been a foul that time on Ringel underneath. He had 3 defenders on him and no call.
And a foul called as Burke was on his way to the rim. Offensive.
Wow.
It's away from the ball. And picking it up is Juan Perez Jones.
That was Olakani who ran right into Jones on the screen. And I think it was because Jones stuck his elbow out was the reason why he was called for an offensive foul.
A 6-team foul against Northampton in this first half. Ringel sets the screen. Right, Bradshaw, baseline jumper, count it. Now Kyle Bradshaw, enough space to get that one to go. And Brookdale in front by just 1. It's been tight through the first 9 minutes and change. 16-15 right now. Burke, top of the key, driving to the rim, a whistle and a foul as Ringel hits the deck hard.
Yeah, Coach Chizek. Go ahead, Brian. I don't think he's too happy about that because I think Burke on that drive threw the elbow towards Okalani, and that's what Olakani. That's what Olakani thought was the call on the floor, but it's going to be Olakani's first foul instead.
Well, yeah, we thought it was Okalani. That's how we'd been saying it, but it turns out his nickname is Oak, but he pronounces the last name Olakani. So a little confusing, but we have it under control now after 6 games.
I actually apologized to Zach before the game. The only thing that I can say is I spoke to Coach Chizak. He originally told us it was Okalani, when in reality it's Olakani. So we got that corrected.
1 out of 2 from the line, and we're tied at 16. James Wright guarded by Sloan. Sloan handling his ground as Wright backs it way out. Shot clock is at 10. Olakani on the drive and the floater, and it's good. Such athletic ability that he has, and can finish at the rim with the best of them. Brookdale back in front by 2. This is Edwin Lopez who's in the game, and his shot is blocked. And the Spartans will retain possession, 18 to shoot underneath. Burke will take the 3 off the front rim. Trying to fly in for the rebound was Hinton Gray, and Bradshaw's there to force the tie-up.
Bradshaw's got to be careful when he's underneath the basket like that, bringing down that rebound. You saw him swinging his elbows. That's okay when you're trying to fight for that rebound, but you really got to be careful because if you hit somebody when you're doing that, that could actually be called a flagrant foul. So he has to be very careful.
As Kirkwood's pass is nearly stolen, Bradshaw getting on the floor to get it back. And the shot clock will not reset. As a result, it's at 12. Keyshawn Kirkwood setting it up. Kirkwood crossover. Now it's Olakani in the paint, short on the floater. Gets his own rebound, and then Burke comes up with it, but he's out of bounds. And so Brookdale will get another possession here with 9:26 to play.
And the interesting thing about this team for Brookdale is both Jordan Little and Sky Harris, one of the 2 main contributors of offense, are still on the bench.
Keyshawn Kirkwood. There's James Wright, the up and under move. Missed it off the front rim, tried to follow, and Wright couldn't cash in on those 2 opportunities. Lopez gets surrounded, and it's stolen. Keyshawn Kirkwood. Bradshaw off the glass. He's fouled. Free throws coming for the freshman.
Nice job by Bradshaw to pump fake, get the defender in the air, and lean into him. Now he's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
And so Hinton Gray commits the personal foul. Bradshaw missed a couple of games with that ankle injury, but he's back, ready to contribute. Misses on that first one.
Yeah, Bradshaw, one of the players that was out for a couple of weeks because of a right ankle sprain. He seems to be playing fine now, and so far, even though he's a freshman, has done very well off the bench.
This is Edwin Lopez. And now Perez Jones harassed top of the key by Bradshaw. He'll back it out. Perez Jones spinning, stripped of the ball by Ringel. Brookdale wants to run, but the Spartans able to get back in transition. Ringel, and he's called for a travel. So right now, Kerry Kirkwood along with Jordan Little, 2 of the starters back in, and now to make it a third, it's Sky Harris. So you mentioned Little and Harris on the bench for an extended period, but back in action now with 8.5 to play first half. Tight game in this Region 19 matchup, 2-point advantage for Brookdale. Hinton Gray gives it up. Edwin Lopez, screen from Kusiapu. Kusiapu, the pump fake, the drive, and the travel.
And I don't think Kusiapu really wanted to go at Jordan Little. Kusiapu being 6'4", Jordan Little being 6'9". I don't think it was going to work anyway, but nonetheless, a good call by the officials.
For Kusiapu, it's only his second game that he's been a part of action for Northampton. Little unable to score down low. And coming back the other way is Sloan. Northampton will set it up at the top with Lopez. Shot clock at 12. As the Spartans appear in no hurry, Perez Jones on the drive puts it up. Shot was altered, and the rebound is taken by Sky Harris. Kirkwood for Olakani, and he goes right-handed for two.
Nice job by Olakani in transition there. And on the other side, that was a very nice defensive hold for Brookdale.
And we'll get a stoppage, 7:10 to go until the break. 4-point Brookdale lead, it's 20-16. We'll step aside at the Collins Arena. Second quarter action returns after this.
Hi, my name is Valerie. I'm here for spring playing. It's awesome. It's so great. There's so much free stuff and fun events, and it's really fun.
I think they should have activities like this so people can meet each other, because it helps people socialize.
I'm Alec, and I was here because I wanted to check it out, and I've never been to one of these things before.
What do you think so far? What have you done here?
I've done the Spider-Man, bungee, and the sumo wrestling.
Welcome back. Brian Goudsworth, Tim Catalfamo, the rest of our Brookdale TV crew with you on this Saturday afternoon of Brookdale basketball. And another look at the Jersey Blues roster right there. And a roster that has played very well to start the season. 5 of their first 6 games have been won. And of course, the one loss that this team has had so far was only by 2 points. That was on the road. So you know you're off to a good start when you've won all your games but one, and the one loss was by only 2.
And in that game, Coach Chizza, we asked him earlier in the season what that loss, how that kind of played out. He said his players played absolutely fine. He just felt as a coach he didn't do a good job coaching late stages of that game. So Brookdale easily right now, with the exception of that game, could be 6-0. So yes, they've played a great schedule and they've played some really great games so far.
And about to hit the road for much of the month of December. Won't play another home game after this until the new year. Offensive foul as Hinton Gray will commit that one. And the ball back to the Jersey Blues. Hinton Gray extending the arm that time. So the two Kirkwoods are on the floor along with Little, Harris, and Wright. This is Wright, nice spin, the fall-away jumper comes up short. Offensive rebound, Little, Wright trying to fight with it, and Kusiapu gets the better of that, gives the Spartans possession. Burke, step-back jumper, rimming, no, and it's rebounded by Little. Ahead for Wright, Brookdale wants to run, pull-up jumper, that's off the side of the rim. Harris keeps it alive, and inside, Little, uncontested.
Nice find by Harris. He got that rebound. He looked instantly to his right for an outlet, found Jordan Little. Little easily laid it in.
And Brookdale starting to find the rhythm on offense after a slow start. They've opened up their largest lead. Kusiapu, foul called before the shot. And Sky Harris looks to pick this one up for Brookdale. That's his second.
His second. Number 5, Kyle Bradshaw, and number 12, Zach Olakani checked in.
So Olakani is back into the game as Wright will take a seat right now. And a whistle right after the inbounds pass.
I don't think anybody really knows what that was for.
The officials tonight are Jim Carter, Joseph Rossi, and Elliot Clark. As now Perez Jones set to inbound. Perez Jones, step back, it's a three, and he's got it. Juan Perez Jones from the corner. And so the Brookdale lead is back to 3, another foul here. And this one will work against the Spartans. Cortez Goff picks this one up, that's his second. So 19 foul against Northampton, one more before Brookdale is in the double bonus. Right now it's a 1-1 for Little.
Yeah, the officials were a little confused at that, but it should be a 1-1. Like I said, if Northampton picks up another team foul, it'll then be bumped up to a double bonus. But this is a 1-1 shooting foul for Jordan Little.
And the 6'9" Little's 1-1. He comes up short, but it's rebounded by Kirkwood. Second chance opportunity for the Jersey Blues. Kerry Kirkwood on a crossover. Olakani kicks it out. Bradshaw lines it up. Too strong on a 3. Offensive rebound. Little in and out. Knocked around, and it's tracked down by Perez Jones. Now, a few opportunities on that last sequence, but Brookdale can't find the basket. And this will go the other way. Double dribble is the call. Perez Jones guilty.
Right now, Brookdale's doing a much better job rebounding second, third chance opportunities underneath the basket than Northampton is.
Keyshawn Kirkwood, and he can't connect from the outside. It's rebounded by Burke. Burke likes to go with that behind the back move. This time he just sends it out to Juan Perez Jones, who sets it up. Burke, that's a long 3, and he sticks it. Jarrell Burke, that was at least 3 feet clear of the arc. And Paul Chisek is unhappy. He takes a timeout, 5:03 to go until halftime. We're now tied at 22. We're coming back after this.
I'm Tyler Harris, and I'm coming here just to have some fun, you know, just hanging out with students over here, meeting new people and everything.
Just having fun for my criminal law class. Lots of fun. Oh, God.
It's
so
a lot
much
different
fun.
than you
It's so
think.
much fun.
I think it's awesome, especially this late in the year, because it's like finals are coming up. It's toward the end of the semester, and it's just kind of a great time to mellow out from classes and just kind of enjoy the new season.
Back inside the Collins Arena with Brian Goudsward. With Tim Catalfamo. I'm Brian Goudsward. And we're down to 5:03 to play here in the first half. Tied up at 22. So a quick 6-0 spurt here with Northampton. I do remember my name, folks.
Yeah, I was checking on you for a second, Brian, yeah.
Kerry Kirkwood floater off the glass. Offensive rebound Little. And he's had his share of those. And he goes back up right-handed, banks it home. Jordan Little just always has an impact on the offensive glass. No, the Jersey Blues back in front by a deuce. It's 24-22. Kusiapu feeds it down low. Cartagena, tough angle. Good contest from Little. Knocked out of bounds. It'll go the other way. Blues ball, 4:28 to play until the break.
And I mentioned this a few moments ago. I'll mention it again. Northampton, one area that they're struggling in is they're not getting too many offensive rebounds. They're really being limited, and it's a credit to Brookdale with how good of a job they're doing boxing out on defense.
Bradshaw lost it, picked up by Burke. Olakani, good defense on the floor. Kirkwood comes up with it. Lead pass, Little on the other end. He slams it down, and the foul. Cartagena will commit the personal, and there is a highlight for the Jersey Blues and one opportunity for Little.
Number 24, Jordan Little, shooting 1.
Little's up among the team leaders in free throws attempted. That's because the other teams know he struggles in that department. This one is no good. Rebounded by Kusiapu. We'll hit the 4-minute mark of this first half. Jersey Blues 26, Spartans 22. Perez Jones outside, Kusiapu inside the arc, no. And it's tracked down by Olakani. Ahead for Bradshaw. Now Little wants it, steps out, and connects from the outside. Jordan Little's been one of the first half stars for Brookdale this afternoon. 6-point Jersey Blue lead. Perez Jones harassed, able to give it up for Burke. Burke behind the back, nearly lost it. Back to Perez Jones. Kusiapu short, and it's rebounded by Bradshaw. Wright running back the other way. Olakani back for Wright. Brookdale gets set up. 3:10 to play in the half. High screen from Little. In the corner, Olakani traveled.
And that's an uncharacteristic mistake for Olakani. Usually he's pretty precise with his dribbling. Another turnover there for Brookdale as you see the jacket come off for Coach Chuzak.
3 minutes to go in the half, 28-22 Brookdale. As Bradshaw went for the steal, Kusiapu stripped of the ball, knocked out of bounds, and it's off Kusiapu and the Spartans. And Brookdale will get it back, leading by 6. These two teams typically meet once a year. Last year they met in eastern Pennsylvania, where Brookdale actually trailed by 1 at the half before they put together a very strong second half, came away with a 17-point win. The spin by Kirkwood inside, and Jordan Little called for a travel. He wasn't so sure about that one, but it is a turnover.
And right now for Northampton, I think they just need to slow down a little bit. They're very quick on offense, but they're not being able to execute. They need to slow the ball down a little bit more to try to make the most of their possession.
Burke one-on-one with Olakani, driving to the rim, switching hands. He couldn't finish it. Little the rebound. His pass deflected.
Wow,
Wright comes up with it, and Wright all the way to the rim for the layup.
And that's why he is so dangerous, particularly in the open court. When he can just have a little bit of a step or two over his defenders, he's very, very difficult to defend.
Sloan thought about the jumper. Burke made one from that spot, not going to take it here. He'll back it out, shot clock at 10. Burke calling out a play. Open look, Sloan, it's a 3. It's no good. Kusiapu able to come away with it, and then Little pries it away from him. Jersey Blues back the other way, Wright on the other end, collects and scores.
Again, another nice transition basket there for Brookdale.
The first time the Jersey Blues have had a lead as large as double figures. It's 10, 32-22. 1:15 to go in the first half. Behind the back, Sloan. Shot clock winding down again. It's at 5. Perez Jones frees himself, comes up short from 3, and it's rebounded by Olakani. Under a minute to go now. Taking his time, James Wright with a double-digit lead. Kerry Kirkwood, 3-pointer. And the rebound easily to Jarrell Burke. Burke got tied up, and it looks like they're going to get a foul. This will work against the Jersey Blues. And Zach Olakani will pick this one up.
And Coach Chuzak's not very happy with his team about both the offense and the defense possession. He wanted the ball to go to the corner. They had Kerry Kirkwood open on the other side. They didn't get the ball to him, and then on defense, Olakani picks up a foul. That's his second. He goes to the bench now. Chuzak, even though he's got his team up by 10, is not happy with the way his players are performing so far.
So Burke at the line. Jarrell Burke, the leading scorer for Northampton. 1-1, he makes it. Averaging 18.4 points per game on the season and starting every game for the Spartans thus far. Sophomore out of Morrisville, Pennsylvania. Makes 2 free throws there, and it's an 8-point Brookdale lead with a half-minute to play first half. Kirkwood on the drive, tough shot. And Cartagena unable to control it. Jersey Blues will have it with the shot clock turned off.
Brookdale can hold to this last shot if they choose to.
Bradshaw on the inside, flips it up, no. And now Perez Jones battling with just about the entire Brookdale defense and wisely decides to back it out. 8 seconds to go now. It's in the hands of Perez Jones. Kusiapu the screen. Perez Jones, bounce pass. Kusiapu swatted by Ringel and a foul. And they can't believe it. Paul Chizek is angry as he thought Ringel got all ball. Ringel did as well, but the foul is called and it will result in free throws with 9/10 of a second remaining.
And that's definitely not what you want to do, particularly going in the half. When you have that little amount of time remaining, you don't want to put the other team on the line. Coach Chizek may very well have a valid point, but that's definitely not what you want to do.
Kusiapu short on that one. This is his first extensive action. He had not scored coming into this game. But here making his second appearance, and he's gotten a lot of minutes here in the first half. 1 out of 2 from the line, 9/10 remaining, and that's it. So the Jersey Blues will hit the halftime locker room with a 7-point lead. It's the Jersey Blues 32 and the Northampton Spartans 25. So an interesting first half. We saw Brookdale didn't get off to the best of starts. Never really got into a great rhythm where they were, dominating this game like we see them do so often, but good enough here to have a 7-point lead. What have you seen so far in this first half?
Well, right now I've seen Brookdale really be able to control their up-tempo offense. That's something that they like to run. Historically, Coach Chizek has always had that be a key element to his offensive teams over the years. So they've done a nice job of that. For Northampton, they need to just slow the ball down a little bit more. They've had nice looks and they've had some nice shots. The problem is where they're really getting beat is Brookdale is out-rebounding them on offense, getting second, third chance opportunities, where Northampton is really not getting that many opportunities for an offensive rebound at all. So that's something I think Northampton needs to improve upon. For Brookdale, they need to keep up the offensive tempo and continue to rebound, which they have done so far very well in the first half.
So Brookdale leading by 7. We're at the halftime break right now. Our score 32-25. Jersey Blues in front as they look to make it 5 consecutive wins on the season here at the Collins Arena. We'll take a break right now. Be back for the second half after this.
Having trouble declaring a major? Or do you have a degree and don't know exactly what to do with it yet? Well, look no further because the Major Fair is here for you. Hi, I'm Sophia Perola, and welcome to Brookdale's 2nd annual Major Fair, where students can explore various academic options, find out what jobs are in their field of study, and talk with department representatives who can assist them in the decision-making process.
I'm the Director of Career Services here at Brookdale, and today we're at the Major Exploration Fair to help students learn more about what they can do in certain careers, what they can do with their majors, and then also to talk about all the hands-on learning opportunities that we offer. We do have a great online job and internship database that every student is able to register for and utilize. Has hundreds of employers and jobs in there right now and internships, so great resource. We have a lot of good resources. There's a lot of great tables here. The faculty are here representing their majors. So I think this is a great way for them to be introduced to it. And then it takes a little bit of research, and students are always able to come and talk to anyone in career services about their careers and their majors as well.
I'm Joe Verone. I'm a professor in the English department here at Brookdale.
So how do you think that the English department can connect with prospective students at the Major Fair?
Oh, the Major Fair I think is great. Students don't usually think of English as a career option, and I think it's nice in an informal setting like this to just have people come around, say hi, meet like real human beings behind a table. So it's really an effective way for us to kind of reach out to students.
I'm Professor Schaefer, and I am from the Business Management Department. I'm representing business, economics, accounting, etc. So it kind of gives them an idea of all the variety of things that you can do out there in the business world. We kind of give them a direction and a path on which they can take to be successful and profitable and produce and give to the economy as a whole. It's my first time at the event, and there's a lot of students here, and I'm getting a lot of questions, so I really think it's a good idea, and they're interested.
I'm junior. My major is communications and minor in business. This whole fair is beneficial to anybody who wants to graduate and succeed in life. I want to pursue my my career because being here and like talking to my professors, I feel like I owe it to my professors to at least go out and do good because they take their time to teach you, and the school takes their time to put up these fairs. So why not actually like take the information you learn and use it and come back one day and say, hey, I did this.
So my name is Joe Walsh. I'm the Assistant Director of Off-Campus Programs for Rutgers University. And I'm here today representing the Rutgers-Brookdale Partnership. We're very glad to be here. Rutgers has been partnered with Brookdale since 1998. One of the hardest things we've had in terms of recruiting is that a large number of Brookdale students still don't know we're here. So this is a way to be visible out in front of students, just in their daily lives without being too intrusive. And we understand not everyone's going to come to Rutgers University, but since we have a special partnership with Brookdale, we want to be wherever Brookdale students are, let them know that we wanted them to think of themselves as Rutgers students now, and to make the transition and the transfer as seamless as possible.
A lot of times we focus our energy with the academic departments on selling Brookdale to incoming students, and then we have students here who might be questioning their degree choices. This is a way for current Brookdale students to learn more about what's offered at Brookdale, what they could do with a specific program of study, and just a little bit more information about what's happening here.
Well, that's a wrap. It sounds like the major fair was a major success. To learn more about what Brookdale has to offer, visit our website at brookdalecc.edu. I'm Sophia Parola. Thanks for watching.
Like a lot of people, I thought community college was a backup option, a discount education. But now, I can't imagine starting anywhere else. Brookdale challenged me. I had the tools and the faculty I needed to grow, both as a student and an engineer. Today, I'm transferring to a prestigious university and finishing a fellowship at NASA. I'm Nick Sikowski, and I came to Brookdale to save money on college. I never imagined it would be the smartest move I ever made.
My daughter was born premature, and the hospital's respiratory therapist saved her life. When the economy crashed, we moved back to New Jersey for my husband's career, but nobody was hiring drama teachers. So I joined the respiratory therapy program at Brookdale. It's a great field with job security, and you can be there for people who really need you. My name is Joriel Miller, and I came to Brookdale to change my career. I never imagined I could help save a life.
I'm more than just a college student. I'm a marathon runner, a volunteer, and a philanthropist. I'm an employee. I'm a future master's degree holder. I believe the path to a better world is paved with a million small steps. Thanks to Brookdale, I'm already halfway there. My name is Killian Warman, and I came to Brookdale to explore my passions. I never imagined I'd have the flexibility to pursue them all.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and it's the end of semester here at Brookdale. Do you know what that means? It's time for the annual Spring Fling celebration. This year, the Student Life Board decided to take a trip through history and use different decades as the inspiration for each event.
My name is Layla Taki. I'm a special education major here at Brookdale. I am secretary of the Student Life Board. To put together Spring Fling this year, we, as a group, we sit down every year and we come up with themes. So we brainstorm, what can work, what cannot work. And at the table this year, someone said, hey, how about through the decades? And it just stuck, and we were like, that's awesome. So then we started planning through the decades. We decided we wanted to do 60s, 70s, and 80s. Tuesdays was 60 Day. It was the hippie vibe. We had an awesome turnout. Last night, we had a 70s roller skating rink, which also had a really good turnout. I was actually very surprised. Sometimes it's hard Wednesday night. And then today is our 80s themed day. We have Mr. Belding and karaoke and super fun 80s arcade games and a candy bar. I think people really liked last night, and I think today is going to go over really well. Everyone's going to love Mr. Belding. He's awesome. I mean, look at him up there.
No diggity, gotta bag it up.
My name is Chris Berry. My major is communication media. I actually came here special for this karaoke thing because I know the DJ. He does karaoke at MJ's restaurant in Tinton Falls on Tuesdays, and basically I'm friends with him, and I felt like I had to come out and represent him, represent the school, and just have a good time.
Hi, my name is Brad Comer. My age is 19 years old,
and my major at Brookdale Community College is education, hoping to be a phys ed teacher. In the 60s, we did a tailgate. The Asbury Park Press was here, so you guys can find me on app.com if you look for the article. And also, we got to play cornhole and other tailgating 60s games. And last night was 70s night with the roller disco in the BREC building. I tell you, it was a very fun experience, and I got to blade and see a lot of people, and I must say I'm very proud of the attendance rate. It was a very good time, and today I'm looking forward to the 80s. So I have a few songs for my friends, so I look forward to singing them. I'm going to sing 1985, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Jesse's Girl, and a Beach Boys song for my friends.
I'm Rachel McDonald, I'm 19, and business administration. Being with Mr. Balding was definitely one of the funniest things I've done at Brookdale. He got everyone involved, and it was really honestly so fun just to sing and joke around with him. He was so nice.
I put your picture away. Sat down and cried today. Oh, as I should.
Our student response actually has been pretty amazing. I've heard nothing but good things at this event.
I'd like to say that I'm very proud of the student body for finally stepping up to the plate and getting involved. I feel extracurriculars are just as important as our academics.
Not really. Thanks for coming out, everyone. I appreciate it.
Best of luck on your finals. I'm Laura Vetter for Brookdale TV, and thanks for watching.
I went to college right after high school, but it didn't work out. After a few years in the workforce and the birth of my son, I decided to give college another try. At Brookdale, something clicked. I met amazing professors and found a major I was passionate about. I made the dean's list, landed a great internship, and now I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree. Thanks to Brookdale, I have what it takes to see my dreams through. I'm Tara Boyce, and I came to Brookdale to give college another try. I never imagined I would find my passion.
I'm Celeste Chericello, and I'm the Design Department Chair here at Brookdale. I've been the Design Department Chair for the past 6 years, and the Design Department has 3 programs: Architecture, Interior Design, and Graphic Design. The great thing about our department is that the professors, the adjuncts, the learning assistants all support the students and each other. I'm also an associate professor here at Brookdale in the Interior Design program. And before I became a professor, I worked in the interior design field for 15 years in high-end residential design. And I went back to school for my master's in art education, and I was able to put my 2 passions together, and I'm able to do what I love here at Brookdale. I feel really strongly about getting students involved in their education. One way that we do that is through clubs. We have a student chapter of the American Society of Interior Designers, and we also just started a campus center for the International Interior Design Association. Those are great ways that students can get involved, being on the board or through committees, and it's a great thing for them to put on their resume. Some other ways we get them engaged are through hands-on experiences. One way is through the Visiting Nurses Association. The Stately Homes by the Sea Designer Show House is a great way for students to become engaged. We just completed our 4th show house this semester, and the students are able to see a project go from design concept all the way through completion and installation. And they work so hard on these show houses, but it's something that I can't give them in a classroom. Another thing that we get them involved in are competitions. Competitions are a great way for students to challenge themselves, and we truly encourage the students to join competitions, and we do try to bring that into the classroom. We also bring in designers that specialize in healthcare, or they may specialize in hospitality design. There are so many different avenues that interior designers can take. The best thing about Brookdale are the opportunities that we give to the students. We really try to make learning fun, and you just can't get better than that.
Hi, I'm Dan Lees from the Speech Communication Department at Brookdale Community College. I welcome you to come and explore Brookdale and see all that we have to offer. In the Speech Communication Department, we teach courses in public speaking, interpersonal.
Back inside the Collins Arena in our booth, Brian Goudsworth, Tim Catalfamo here. Brookdale with a 7-point lead. It's 32-25 at the break right now. And Tim, Brookdale has been led by the player who's led the way most of the year so far, and that's James Wright. 14 first-half points for him today.
Yeah, right now he's performing really well. Jordan Little has also done well. So as I said at the beginning of at the end of the first half, actually, Brookdale is doing a really nice job in transition, and they're getting nice offensive rebounds. So they're just firing on all cylinders right now against a very tough Northampton team. Like I said, for Northampton, I think they just need to slow the ball a little bit more down on offense and try to, if they can, out-rebound Brookdale, box them out underneath the basket. That's something that they've struggled with. I'll be anxious to see if they can do that in the second half.
And Northampton led in the first half by Jarrell Burke, who was in double figures and showed a long-range shooting ability that he had. So the Spartans open up with the basketball to start the second half. And with their starting five on the floor. Outside for Perez Jones, and now he drives and banks it home. Juan Perez Jones to start the second half.
And he's another player who's very quick with the basketball. It's caused him some trouble sometimes. He likes that behind the back pass. That's caused him a couple of turnovers in the first half.
Olakani gives it up. James Wright, who, as we mentioned, with the 14 first half points, Little gets double teamed. Back out, Wright, the defender goes down, blocking foul is called. And Tyrell Mann, who hit the deck, will pick that one up. So for Mann, that is number 3, and early free throw opportunity here in the second half for James Wright.
Yeah, and Coach McCarthy's arguing that James Wright was not in the act of shooting when that foul occurred, and I have to agree with him. I don't think Wright was anywhere close to shooting, so Coach McCarthy might have a case on the sidelines for Northampton.
And 1 out of 2 from the line for Wright, who had a team-high 17 points in Brookdale's last game, the win on the road over the County College of Morris. Inside, Kelman able to spin around Little, and he gets it to go with the left hand. Justin Kelman, who didn't see a lot of action in the first half, but a nice move there. Olakani kicks it out. Jumper, Sky Harris, rimming in for 2. And we saw Sky Harris have a big impact the last game we did against Rowan College. He led the way with 18 points, had 8 rebounds as well. Burke using the Kelman screen. Goes behind the back. And now it's in the hands of Perez Jones. Perez Jones to the rim. Bank shot, no, but a foul. And Kerry Kirkwood will get called on that one. Perez Jones to the line.
And that's something that we didn't see too much of in the first half. Northampton driving to the basket to try to draw fouls. Possibly a little bit different mindset coming into the second half, being that they're down by 5 at this point.
First one is good for Perez Jones, the sophomore from Morrisville, Pennsylvania. And the 61% free throw shooter is good on a pair. Little sets the high screen. Harris is going to put it up for 3. And leaping for the rebound. Perez Jones leads the break. And his pass is... So Burke to inbound on the far side. Burke against Olakani. He'll back it out. 2 minutes elapsed here in the second half. 4-point Brookdale lead. Perez Jones. Kelman sets the screen. Shot clock at 8. Olakani defending. Burke lost it. And it's picked up on the ground by Sky Harris.
Just too much dribbling there for Burke. You got to give it up at some point.
Open look. Olakani counted from the baseline. So good ball movement on that possession leads to the wide open jumper. And it's 37-31, Jersey Blues. Mann on the drive, Mann switching hands, and he's fouled. So Tyrell Mann will go to the line this time for Northampton.
That's going to be Jordan Little's second foul. So I mentioned this in the first half. Jordan Little is a threat and a presence down low at 6'9", but what has hurt him in past games is the fact that he has sometimes picked up foul trouble, which has sent him to the bench. He's already got his second foul. In a close game like this, he needs to stay out of foul trouble because you don't want him, being such a big presence for Brookdale, having to be stuck on the bench.
Well, Mann just a 36% free throw shooter. As a team, the Spartans are at only 57%. And now hurrying back the other way. Little wants it in the paint. Little goes up strong and gets it to go.
And Little snatched that ball away from Hinton Gray. Gray had his eyes on it, but Little just went up and grabbed it out of the air before Hinton Gray had a chance to get it.
Wright looking to swipe it away from Mann. Mann to the rim, off the glass, and it's followed down with authority. Hinton Gray on the offensive glass, and he threw it down with the right hand. Harris comes back. Can't get that to fall. Offensive rebound to Little. It's on the ground, a jump ball. And possession will stay right where it's at. So the 5 on the floor for the Jersey Blues. It's Kerry Kirkwood, Little, Harris, Olakani, and James Wright. Kirkwood inbounds for Wright. Driving around Mann, couldn't get it to go on the baseline drive, knocked out of bounds. And Brookdale will get another fresh shot clock to work with.
Yeah, tough shot there by Wright. Really nothing you can do when you're in a position like that. You're hoping to draw a foul. When that situation, that doesn't happen, it's really a tough shot.
And Little unable to convert, rebounded by Kelman. And now this is Burke inside the arc, short. It gets knocked up in the air, and Olakani able to come away with it right, and that will count, plus the foul on Jarrell Burke, trailing the play. That was a funny way to start a fast break off the other end, but Brookdale will take it. Chance for 3 for Wright.
And that was a nice shot by Olakani. Nice presence and nice looking up the floor, looking to see who I can get this ball to. He gave it to Wright, and Wright, of course, was able to finish in transition.
So James Wright continues to make strides each game this season. Misses the free throw. Foul is called. As Olakani went down, but the foul is on Olakani, and that's his third personal. He looks rather incredulous at that one.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Chuzak liked that. I think Coach Chuzak's point was that Olakani was pushed from behind. He's not going to win that argument, though.
And Jordan Hernandez set to check in next whistle. Mann, the floater, and the rebound to Little. Kirkwood ahead, Wright. Offensive rebound to Little, and a couple opportunities, but no basket on that end of the floor for the Jersey Blues. Mann gets around Wright all the way to the rim, and he gets that one to fall. Tyrell Mann, who averages double figure scoring, 12.3 points per game. And the lead is back to just 4 for Brookdale. We'll approach 5 minutes gone by. Olakani will stroke it and miss. It's rebounded by Kelman.
Right now, neither of these two teams showing a whole lot of energy in this second half, which is surprising based on the performance that we saw in the first.
Burke backs it out. Hinton Gray's jumper is off the mark. Rebounded by Little. Kirkwood, nice crossover, gets inside and gets it to go. Nice move by Kerry Kirkwood.
Yeah, Coach McCarthy on the Northampton bench wanted a goaltending call on actually Jordan Little trying to help the ball go down. Little actually went up and grabbed the basket. They're not going to call that, but that was close because once that ball is hanging around on the rim, you can't touch it or else you'll be interfering with that basket.
So now a pair of substitutions. Jordan Hernandez along with Keyshawn Kirkwood. And now Kyle Bradshaw will join that group as Olakani, Wright, and Harris will all check out of the game. Possession is with Northampton. Burke, crossover, Burke to the rim. The wild shot high off the backboard, and it's out of bounds. Last touch, Kelman. Brookdale will have it.
And I'll be interested to see how Brookdale deals with a lot of their players off the bench. A lot of big-time names such as Wright, Harris, Little, Olakani on the bench. See if Brookdale can kind of try and maintain this lead.
Little backing in against Kelman. Kelman standing his ground, and that's a travel. So Kelman does a good job holding up defensively that time, and Little forced into the travel, although Paul Chizek didn't quite think so.
Yeah, I think Little did pick up his pivot foot from where we are up in here in the booth. And I misspoke. He is on the floor. He's not on the bench.
Kelman, oh, what a spin! And Justin Kelman with the left hand. Beautiful move. Bradshaw trying to answer back, and he does with the baseline jumper.
Kyle Bradshaw has done a very nice job so far this season. We've seen him a couple times come off the bench and put on some nice points, particularly when it's important for the Jersey Blues on offense.
And that's an unforced error by Tyrell Mann, called on the travel. Now 13:30 to play. It's been around this margin for much of the game, currently standing at 6, 45-39. Kirkwood inbounding on the far side. Hernandez, quick trigger, got it.
Hernandez, another one of the players, along with Bradshaw, who's come off the bench as a freshman and has done very well when Brookdale is in need of some of their substitutes to put up some nice performance on the offensive side of the ball.
Mann gets double teamed.
Talk about a
Mann looking
ball.
for
Wow.
someone. Bradshaw got a piece of it, and he comes away with the steal. Hernandez on a bounce. It looked like a kick ball, no call on Burke. And now Perez Jones trying the bounce pass for Burke, but it's knocked out. And possession will stay here with Northampton. Perez Jones, the inbounder. Pump fake by Perez Jones. He gives it up. Going in was Hinton Gray. And then on the follow, Tyrell Mann for 2.
Bradshaw didn't fill that gap on the low block leading to that basket.
Spin move by Kirkwood, and he's called for a travel, and he jumps up and down in disbelief. And I don't know about that call.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some questionable calls, particularly with the traveling. We've seen it a couple times in this game that have been questionable. I didn't quite see what the officials called on Kirkwood there, but to their defense, I wasn't necessarily looking at the feet.
Man, the step back, it's a 3, too strong. Offensive rebound, though, comes to Kelman. And a second chance opportunity for the Spartans. Burke, hard drive, lefty layup, no, but a foul. Burke with a head of steam to the rim. And that's just difficult to stop. As Jordan Hernandez picks that personal foul, and that will be his first of the afternoon. Burke at the line. Now, Burke shoots free throws well, 80% on the season. And that one's good. Burke had a 30-point game in Northampton's last game against Montgomery County. Too strong on the second attempt. So he splits the pair. 8 minutes gone by, second half, 5-point lead for the Jersey Blues. Little gets surrounded. Outside, Hernandez tried the shovel pass. And a whistle, and it's going the other way.
Yeah, that was a 3 seconds in the paint call, I think, on Jordan Little.
And the turnovers are starting to pile up here for Brookdale in the second half. And they got to be careful with the lead only at 5 right now.
Yeah, something interesting that I found out, Brian. Right now, Northampton only averages 70 points allowed per game. So far, they've held Brookdale to 47. So while, 47. So while it hasn't necessarily been their best game, they've done a decent job on the offensive end, limiting Brookdale with a very high-powered offense.
As Kirkwood knocks that out of bounds. And to your point, on the other end with Brookdale, they have actually scored at least 75 points in all 6 games, but it's going to take quite an effort the rest of the way to get to that mark. At only 47 right now, Kelman facing up against Little. The back in, and he's fouled. So hard work by Kelman, the sophomore, out of Reading, Pennsylvania. And he'll get free throws out of this.
And that's going to be the 3rd foul on Jordan Little. Coach Cusack wanted to walk there on Kelman, but for Little now, he's got 3 fouls, so it looks like Matthew Ringel's going to come in for him. This could be a big loss, though, if Ringel's not able to fill the presence that Little shaz down low.
That's the 6th team foul of the second half for the Jersey Blues, as you see Ringel enter, and Little with those 3 personals to the bench. Now Kelman, who averages 5 points a game on the season. Second attempt, and he gets the roll, 2 out of 2 from the line. And the Spartans are right in this game with 11.5 to play. 47-44, Brookdale holding on to the slight advantage. Kirkwood had it knocked away, gets it back. Bradshaw pulls the trigger, no good from 3. And then a foul as Perez Jones got the rebound, and Kerry Kirkwood will pick up an unnecessary one here.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Brian. That was just an unnecessary foul by Kirkwood. I'm not sure why he reached in. He was already beat. I think he did something to his foot as he was coming down after that last shot and was trying to get back on defense, and instead of moving your feet, the lazy part of yourself wants to reach with your hands, and usually that's when you pick up a foul.
And so Northampton is in the bonus. It's a 1-on-1 situation for Perez Jones. No good on the attempt. Ringel, the defensive rebound. Hernandez the other way. Keyshawn Kirkwood, that's for 2. Off the mark. Up the floor in a hurry, Perez Jones. Man underneath, able to save it. And then it's picked up by Kerry Kirkwood the other way. Jersey Blues trying to answer back. Bradshaw gets to the rim and with the right hand lays it in.
Nice look by Kirkwood. Both of them made an excellent job on the other end on defense and then on offense to come down. Nice heads-up play to Kerry to get it to Kyle Bradshaw, who was cutting to the basket.
Cartagena, the feed down low. It's tipped and stolen by Ringel. Hernandez, the behind the back. Hernandez, the attack to the rim. Oh, what a tough shot. Jordan Hernandez. And that'll lead to a timeout. Northampton with 10:24 to go. It's a 7-point Jersey Blue lead. And we'll be back.
Personal communication and small group communication. For me, college was a life-changing experience. I never looked at the world the same way after my time in college. And I think Brookdale will offer you that same kind of life-changing experience. Not only will you enjoy yourself at Brookdale and have a good time, but you're going to learn a lot. And you're going to take those skills out into the world and apply them in your work field, whatever it may be. So join us at Brookdale. You might find it changes your life.
Hello, my name is Jack Ryan, and I teach English at Brookdale Community College. The mask that I'm wearing here is simply a prop that I use in my American Lit 1 class when I teach Edgar Allan Poe's short story, The Cask of Amontillado. In that short story, Poe utilizes masks both literally and metaphorically. And literature classes are meant to help students to analyze difficult texts, to break them down, and to understand what is really going on, not just explicitly, but implicitly as well, to read between the lines. That skill translates to any discipline, as do the skills that we teach in our writing courses, where we give you instruction on how to learn the tools of research, how to prop.
Brian Gautzer with Tim Catalfamo here on Brookdale TV. And the women came away with the victory in the first of our doubleheader, and now the men looking to do the same. Right now the lead is 7, 51-44. Outside the full timeout, the Spartans back in a hurry. Man, the contest by Ringel, there was contact but no call. And now Brookdale the other way. Both Kirkwoods are on the floor along with Harris, Ringel, and Hernandez. Kerry Kirkwood to his brother Keyshawn in the corner. As we'll hit the 10-minute mark of this second half. That's knocked out of bounds off man as Hernandez hit the deck.
Nice catch by the lady in the second row. Hernandez threw it right to her.
Shot clock is at 5. They'll have to work quickly. Kerry Kirkwood, nice look. Ringel bobbled it back out, and that shot will not matter as the shot clock had expired. The shot by Keyshawn Kirkwood. Edwin Lopez had it stripped and stolen. Ahead, Keyshawn Kirkwood all the way to the rim shot, blocked. Oh, what a defensive play by man. Hernandez, though, gets it back. Ringel in the lane, spinning, and traveled. So the basket will not count. It's negated. Despite Paul Chizek's wishes, Ringel called for steps. 9:30 to go, and the ball back to Northampton.
Yeah, Coach Chizek's got to be careful not to pick up a technical here. That was clearly a walk on Matt Ringel. That's no question about it.
Lopez bumping bodies with Kirkwood. Man, the spin, the fall away is an air ball. Beautiful save by Lopez. Roaming baseline Burke, he couldn't get it to fall. Tipped around for a while, and eventually Jordan Hernandez came away with it.
And again, Brookdale's just out rebounding Northampton on both ends of the floor. Spartans not really having an opportunity to try to add to second, third chance opportunities when they have the ball.
Kirkwood against man. Kirkwood, jumper. The jumpers just haven't been falling. The offensive rebound, Ringel, oh man, swats it. And the Spartans come back on a foul at midcourt as Burke was hit hard. And Jordan Hernandez was the one who delivered the hit on the Jersey Blues side. 8th team foul against Brookdale. They're over the limit. It's 1-1 for the Spartans.
Yeah, something that I'm confused about on that last possession. Coach Chizek very clearly said that he wanted a timeout. Several times the officials did not give it to him. And then when Matthew Ringel got the rebound, Coach Chizek still did not call another timeout. So I'm not quite sure what was going on there. I don't know if Coach Chizek wanted the timeout and then had second thoughts about it or what, but definitely very confusing on that offensive possession for the Jersey Blues.
And Burke makes 2 at the line. Jersey Blues 51, Spartans 46. Keyshawn Kirkwood outside for Harris. Shot clock winding down again. It's at 10. Kirkwood, the crossover, the spin. Tough shot. And it's rebounded easily by Hinton Gray. I would bet that this has been a game for the Jersey Blues where they've had their lowest shooting percentage of the season.
Yeah, Northampton, to their credit, has done a nice job of closing out a lot of their shots. The reason why Brookdale has been able to maintain this lead for much of the game is just they're out-rebounding Northampton.
Burke got Hernandez in the air, but he missed on the jumper. Tracked down defensively by Sky Harris. Harris brings it all the way across. Now Kerry Kirkwood roaming baseline in the air, and he hits. Tough shot, Kerry Kirkwood.
And that's why we talk about Kerry Kirkwood so much, because he and his brother are so good at doing that, driving to the basket, adjusting in midair, avoiding actually drawing a foul, and instead making the basket.
Hinton Gray able to save it and deflect it out off Kirkwood. So James Wright had a long rest. He's back into the game, as is Jordan Little. And Matt Ringel to the bench for the Jersey Blues. Kelman gets a touchdown low, backing his way in, and Jordan Little will commit the personal foul, sending Kelman to the line. So for Little, who it always seems like is in foul trouble, and he picks up his 4th of this afternoon, and in all likelihood will be replaced. Matt Ringel set to check in just about 3 seconds after he had checked out.
Yeah, Little had just come in with 3 fouls. Now he's got 4. So we've talked about it many times. Little's a very good player, very big presence on offense, but he's hurting himself because he keeps winding himself up in foul trouble.
Now Kelman struggles mightily from the free throw line as that one misses. You see Little going to the bench there. And Kelman just a 33% free throw shooter on the season. But he gets that one to go, 1 out of 2 from the line. And we'll hit the 7-minute mark in a 6-point game. Pressure applied, and it's stolen. Hinton Gray in the back court. Burke sizing up Kirkwood. Now Burke using the screen, gets all the way to the rim, hangs in the air and banks it in for 2. That was highlight reel material for Jarrell Burke. Ringel's pass gets to the front court for Wright. Wright shovels it inside. Harris banks it home.
And that's how you handle a full court press. You just very calmly take your time, get the ball up the floor, find the open guy. Most of the time, that's guy right underneath the basket. That's what Brookdale did on that possession.
Lopez the handle. And now Hinton Gray. Man inside. Defender goes down. Offensive foul. So Ringel tried to draw one of those earlier. Instead was called on a blocking foul that no one was too happy about. This time it goes Brookdale's way on the offensive foul committed by Mann, and that's his 4th of the day. So Mann is forced to leave this game right now in foul trouble, and Ezekiel Sloan will take his place in the lineup. Full court press is on for the Spartans, and that forces a turnover. Bradshaw's pass for Olakani not on line. Spartans ball.
This full court pressure is really giving Brookdale a lot of problems. We'll see if Northampton can try to add some points to the board to capitalize on it.
Perez Jones is back in the game. Burke against Olakani, backs it out to behind the arc. The little hesitation move, gets inside, couldn't finish. Tipped by Hinton Gray, he saves it for Sloan. Reset of the shot clock, 3 on the way is short by Burke. And now back the other way comes Olakani for Brookdale. Timeout with 5:40 to go and a 6-point lead. Jersey Blues on top. We'll step aside at the Collins Arena. We're back in a moment.
Properly construct, focus, and organize a research paper. All of those skills that we work on in those courses help you, the student, to be a better student, to be more appropriately employable, and to enjoy literature, film, poetry, any kind of resource that you might be interested in. Even listening to the radio and the lyrics on the songs that you hear on your typical FM station or bipod. We at Brookdale's English department hope that you can contact us and look for the appropriate courses that work for your vision of what your life will be. And we hope that you do that as soon as you can. And if you want to contact Jack Ryan, just look up J. Ryan on the English page and you'll find me, and I would be glad to tell you what I know and learned in my 45 years at Brookdale Community College.
Hi, I'm Sophia Pearl, and I'm here at the Scholarship Recognition Ceremony, where Brookdale celebrates students who have received scholarships to further their education and the donors who made their scholarship.
And we're back on Jersey Blues basketball on Brookdale TV. Second game of our doubleheader on this Saturday afternoon. We're down the stretch in this one, 5:40 left to play, and it's been fairly tight throughout. Northampton has been able to hang in this game. There's never been a point where Brookdale has blown it out of the water, and so it looks like we'll have a tight game here going down the stretch.
Yeah, right now Brookdale, like I said, the reason why they've been able to maintain this lead predominantly is because of their rebounding. They've out-rebounded Northampton repeatedly on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. Right now, Northampton just doesn't quite have an answer for that.
Kirkwood kicks it out for Bradshaw. And the Jersey Blues having a tough time getting into this offensive set. Shot clock is at 8. Kirkwood outside. Bradshaw thought about the jumper. Inside for Ringel. And it's going the other way. It looks like another traveling call on, now a 3-second call this time. Ringel, the guilty party.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times with Ringel and with Jordan Little, who stay in the paint just a little bit too long. That's an unforced error, as you said, Brian, on Brookdale.
Perez Jones gets to the rim, and he goes glass and gets the roll. Now Juan Perez Jones, despite the tough contest, able to score on the other end for the Spartans. As we hit the 5-minute mark, it's a 4-point game. Wright on the curl to the rim, and the score in the paint. Well, James Wright was the high man for Brookdale scoring-wise in the first half, picking up where he left off. Foul called. Ringel thought he got all ball as he swatted it away on the shot from Perez Jones.
Yeah, and Ringel did get all ball, but the foul's going to be called on Kirkwood instead. So Ringel made a nice block, but it was Kirkwood who fouled number 11, Jones, before the shot that puts him at the line.
And that's his fourth, so he comes out of the game, replaced by brother Keyshawn. Perez Jones good on the first attempt.
And to Northampton's credit, Brian, Northampton has only committed 3 team fouls total in this second half, while Brookdale is already maxed out with fouls in the double bonus.
5 on the floor for Brookdale. It's Olakani, Bradshaw, Keyshawn Kirkwood, Ringel, and Wright. Olakani outside for Bradshaw. Pump fake, baseline drive, couldn't get it to go. Ringel had it for a moment and it knocked loose. And it looks like they got a foul on the Spartans. Ezekiel Sloan. And check that, Hinton Gray picks up his 3rd personal. And so Keyshawn Kirkwood to inbound, get it outside for Wright. And Brookdale taking their time, fresh shot clock to work with.
Kostrzyk had to back away a little bit, almost hit him in the face, that pass.
Bradshaw, the jumper is short. And soaring in for the rebound is Kelman.
What I'd like to see Northampton do here, Brian, is drive to the basket, try to draw a foul.
Kelman outside, that's an open look. Sloan, it was halfway down, but it spins out from 3. Hinton Gray on the follow, and then it's tipped home. Justin Kelman, the 3rd chance opportunity for Northampton. And so with 3.5 to play, it's just a 3-point lead. The floater for Wright. Negate the basket. Offensive foul. Kelman took the hit. And Wright commits the offensive foul.
Yeah, Brookdale right now not looking all that sharp. Again, you see Jordan Little and Sky Harris getting ready to come in after this timeout. Just not looking all that sharp. They've kind of lost track of the momentum that they've been on the last couple of minutes, and Northampton's been able to close within one possession of the lead.
So we'll keep it here for this full timeout with 3:24 to play, and what is just a 3-point lead. Brookdale has done a good job defensively on Jarrell Burke, the #1 star for the Spartans. They let him have a few open looks in the first half, but hasn't really gotten much open space to work with here in the second half.
Yeah, Burke, one of those players who comes in averaging 18 points a game, but for the most part, I should say, Brookdale has done a nice job of securing him and maintaining their defense on that side of the ball. But one thing that I think that Coach Chuzak is a little bit upset about the way that his team has been performing the last few minutes is they haven't kind of gone away from what they've been doing all game. They're trying to get a little bit too cute sometimes on offense instead of sticking to what they've done for the rest of this game.
Man with a head of steam missed it on the interior. And back the other way for the Jersey Blues. James Wright, pull-up jumper for 2. It was short. Offensive rebound and the putback. Zach Olakani. It's been a rather quiet night for him. He certainly had his bigger games this year, but he gets that one to go. Perez Jones guarded by Kirkwood. Perez Jones takes it back on the handoff. Shot swatted by Little. Wright able to save it from out of bounds, and it's in the hands of Harris. Floats it ahead for Olakani. And Olakani has it knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't a foul that time on Olakani, who was driving to the basket. That looked pretty clearly that there was a lot of contact, but the officials thought differently.
So the shot clock is at 15 right now as Wright handles. Wright called on a double dribble as he tried to drive it by man. No, a turn.
Go ahead, Brian.
Just going to say a turnover at the 2:29 mark of this second half. And now man, the crossover gets inside, tough shot. And it comes to Keyshawn Kirkwood. Numbers if they hurry one-on-one. Olakani, what a move, and he finishes. Had one player to beat and beat him for the layup. Perez Jones, a lot of dribbling. Burke on the drive, knocked away by Little. Picked up, but the shot clock is actually going to reset. As they said, Brookdale had possession for long enough. Burke, that's for 3. He's got it.
Yeah, I don't think the shot clock should have reset that last time, Brian. I think that was a blown call by the officials there. I don't think Wright had possession long enough. He just barely touched it going out of bounds. And that's, I think, what led to that 3 there for Northampton. So I think the Spartans caught a break. You see Coach Chuzak still arguing that.
I mean, to me, watching it, there was no way Brookdale had full possession of that basketball, but the shot clock reset and Northampton able to cash in as Burke, who has quite a stroke from the outside, makes it from 3-point range. And so right now a timeout, 1:39 to play in the second half. And we're locked in a close one in this Region 19 matchup. Brookdale looking to extend the winning streak to 5 in a row. So Brookdale, you'll go looking forward here on the schedule. They're not going to play another home game until the new year in January. They'll be back here on January 8th against Sussex County, but their next several games all on the road. In fact, it's their next 6 are all going to be played away from the Collins Arena. Of course, they've only played 2 on the road so far where they have a 1-1 record, but that makes for a much more difficult schedule here in the month of December.
Yeah, the month of December is really what's going to either make or break this team because, as you said it, Brian, I mean, they don't have another home game all the way until January 8th. So it's a tremendous stretch And as I said, they're going all over the place, playing teams like Passaic County, Atlantic Cape County, Mohawk Valley. There's just a tremendous amount of very good quality teams that Brookdale's going to have to play on the road. Then once you get to January, then everything kind of equals out. But December's really going to be the make or break month for this team.
And that is a foul called. And we'll see if that was Jarrell Burke who picked it up right after James Wright received the inbounds pass.
Yeah, Brookdale still has to inbound here. Excuse me, Northampton only has 14 fouls, so they're not anywhere close to a bonus.
Sky Harris on the other end. Brookdale will get set up with 1.5 minutes to go. They lead by just 4. I figure they'll probably have to make some free throws before this one is in the books. Olakani, the crossover, hands it off. Harris's jumper off the rim. Fight for the rebound. Olakani scoops it up. And that's a big offensive rebound as Brookdale can go to work more at this clock.
And right now it's decision time for Coach McCarthy. Does he tell his players to foul? Because right now Brookdale's going to take as much time as they can in this possession.
Olakani on the drive and hacked on his way to the rim. Tyrell Mann will pick up the personal, and Tyrell Mann has fouled out of the game after picking up his 5th personal. So Jarrell Burke is in to replace him. The inbounds to James Wright in the corner, guarded by Burke.
And again, the shot clock reset. Northampton's still not fouling. I'm very surprised at this.
It's a 2-possession game right now as Wright nearly at midcourt. Picked up defensively by Burke. Hands it off for Keyshawn Kirkwood. Shot clock at 10. Olakani into the lane, floats it up and in.
And that I don't understand. Northampton wasted 30 seconds where they could have drawn a foul, trying to put Brookdale on the line, try to play the foul game. They chose to not do that. They lost a huge amount of time there.
And now there's just a 3-second differential, shot clock and game clock. Olakani the steal. And a whistle. And what did they call here?
Like a technical foul.
A technical foul. And I guess that must have been Jarrell Burke against the Spartans, picks up the tee.
Wow.
And a very inopportune time because we're down to 18.6 seconds. And free throw for Keyshawn Kirkwood, no good. But you're right, I'm very surprised Northampton allowed that much time to go off the clock when they were trailing by 4 points.
I do not understand that. I mean, like I said, Northampton would have had to have committed at least 2 fouls in order to get themselves into the bonus to send Brookdale to the foul line, which is what they would have wanted to do to stop the clock.
And did they just get another technical foul?
No, I think that's actually a real foul on Burke. I think he was holding right, Brian, if I'm not mistaken. That's his 4th foul. So now they're in the bonus, but I still don't understand why they allowed that amount of time to run off the clock. I just don't understand that.
I can't say I do either. As right at the line, pretty much to ice this one, makes the free throw. And it's now an 8-point game. For much of the last couple minutes, it was inside a 5-point Brookdale lead.
I mean, this is the largest lead that, on my count, Brookdale has had all game. They led at 7 at halftime, but they've never, I don't believe, led by any higher than 8 points.
So bringing it across, Perez Jones puts it up from 3-point range. It's an air ball fielded by Harris. 5 seconds left, and Olakani can dribble at the clock as Brookdale comes away with a victory. It wasn't their prettiest performance of the season, but they win it. The final score, the Jersey Blues 65 and the Northampton Spartans 57. So Brookdale will improve their record to 6-1, while Northampton will drop to an even 500 at 5-5. Brookdale keeps up their home dominance with their 5th straight here at the Collins Arena. And now, as we said, we'll hit the road for much of the month of December, where the schedule's obviously going to get much tougher as we welcome you back, Brian Goudsward, Tim Catalfamo. So how does Brookdale keep this up? Such a good start to the season, but now on the road for much of the month. what are your keys?
Well, I really do think that rebounding is the key. We've seen that all year with this team, and that was one of the reasons why they were able to stay in this game. With a lot of the mistakes that they made a lot of turnovers and shot themselves in the foot quite often, but it was really their rebounding, particularly on offense, second, third chance opportunities, and limiting Northampton to really only one shot per possession on offense. That's what really kept them in this game. So if Brookdale's going to be able to pull off some of these wins on the road, which they're going to have to, it's a very long home road stretch until they get back to the month of January. They're going to have to continue to rebound the ball very well. Players like Olakani, Jordan Little, James Wright, the two Kirkwood brothers, those players are going to have to continue to play well on the offensive side of the ball and step in for each other when one of them is not having such a great game. We've seen that all year this year, but it's really going to have to be particularly strong as you go on the road, because it's one thing to go on the road for 1 or 2 games at a time, but to have an entire month where you're on the road, particularly at some very, very tough teams like Passaic, Mohawk Valley, it's extremely tough. So that's what Brookdale's going to have to do if they want to continue this momentum that they've been riding on since really the season started in November.
So each of the next six games will be on the road. Won't be back here until January the 8th as they will play Sussex. So Brookdale comes away with the win. It's a doubleheader sweep for the Jersey Blues today, and we thank everyone for tuning in. For Tim Catalfamo, I'm Brian Goudsward, and we'll see you back out here in the new year. Have a good rest of your weekend.